Hello, and welcome to this episode of our Franchise Readiness Series, where we help people considering the path of business ownership understand the options and opportunities available to them, and learn valuable information and insights that can help them decide to pursue the dream of business ownership. I'm Brian Wieters, Group Vice President of Development at Neighborly. I've spent over 30 years in franchising, leading development teams at multiple brands in the quick serve, business services, and home services industries. I want to help people reach their goals and achieve their dreams of business ownership. I believe the great Zig Ziglar was right when he said, "You'll get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want." We have a great agenda for you today, and I know you'll get some valuable ideas and frameworks to help you get clear on your goals, the decisions you need to make, and prioritizing what really motivates you and what your next steps could be. My guest today is Pat Hyland. Pat's a certified franchise executive and business coach who has spent his entire career helping over 3,000 small business owners start on their path towards business ownership and financial independence. Through a servant-hearted approach, Pat helps aspiring entrepreneurs determine if business ownership is right for them. And if so, he then points them in the direction to help them achieve their personal and professional goals. He has served in executive leadership roles at Neighborly and Rotobrush International by leading and training franchise development teams to counsel candidates through a mutual evaluation process. He is also an in-demand franchise development subject matter expert at conferences and for Meet the Team Day presentations. Pat lives what he teaches, as he and his wife are multi-unit, multi-concept franchise owners, and they've successfully built and sold businesses, both to individuals and to private equity companies. Pat's also the author of a new book titled "Stop Chasing Two Rabbits: Is Business Ownership Right for You?" I'm excited to have him share some tools and strategies to help get you set on your path to success. Welcome, Pat.
Hey, thank you, Brian. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you here today, as well as with your viewers, and share with them something that's been important for my family and myself over the years, as well as many of the aspiring entrepreneurs that I've had an opportunity to teach this exercise to. So thanks a lot for the opportunity.
We're looking forward to it, Pat. Thanks.
All right. Well, it's great to be here with you today. I want to share with you something that has personally impacted the life of my family, but also literally hundreds and hundreds of other people that I've been able to coach and mentor on this exercise. Building a business or starting a business for somebody for the very first time and making that decision, it's scary. And you know what the acronym of FEAR is, right? False evidence appearing real. Well, what we want to do today is make it apparent which direction you should go, whether you continue to stay in your corporate American job or your career today, or go out and start a new business. Because you've heard the old adage, a man who chases two rabbits rarely catches one. And what this proverb talks about is focus. You know, sometimes we're trying to make this decision, is business ownership right for me? Or do I need to find a new career and chase that career path? Well, guess what? Today, to find a new career in corporate America, it is a full-time job to focus efforts into that direction. And it's also a full-time effort to focus into finding the right business for you. So somebody that splits that focus, it does a disservice to both of them. And today I want to share with you an exercise, really a decision exercise that will help you determine where you should go in your career at this point of your life. So what I want everybody to do, I want you all to play along and participate. Grab an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, if you would, and turn it sideways. And on that piece of paper, use a pen or pencil or a marker to draw a line down the middle of the piece of paper. And then so you split it up into two halves. And then what I want you to do is split both of those halves with additional lines. So you have 4 boxes. Now that you have the 4 boxes, on the top left box, I want you to write the word dreams and goals. Dreams and goals. And in this box, what I want you to start to do is make a list with you and your spouse. Spend some time together, camp out on this, even as a family. Start to list out what your dreams and goals will be. What's important about this box, though, is don't be practical. Take the lid off. Start to dream outside of really our practicality of what we can achieve or what we can't. What I mean by that is, where do you want to go? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want to go out there with your extended family? For example, my wife and I, one of our big dreams and goals over the years was to take our extended family on vacation at our own expense. Because a lot of times, because family time is important to us, but a lot of times our family weren't able to come with us because of economic reasons. Well, 4 years ago, we were able to accomplish that goal. And over the last 4 years, we've had the most amazing time with our families, creating great memories. Also, another dream and goal that my son and I have right now on our list is to be on one of the very first Virgin Galactic flights to outer space. When that came out, we signed up. It was $250,000 a seat when we raised our hand saying we were interested. Now, while we're not ready to commit $500,000 for my son and I to go to outer space yet, it's one of those things that we have that we're working towards because it's something that's really would be cool for us. Next, what do you want to have? These are things like, do you want a lake home? Do you want to have a mountain home? Do you want to have a beach home? How about a luxury car? One of my dream cars right now is on my list is to have an Eleanor, a 1967 Mustang. And that's something that I'm working towards. How about owning your own private jet? A lot of us think, man, that's just for the rich and famous. Well, you know what? That's something if you want to travel the world and be with your friends and family and be able to do that. The other is, who do you want to become? Who do you want to become might be, maybe you're financially at a point in your life to where you can go and do full-time missions. Maybe it's the ability for you to do more philanthropic work to where you can give to those, in need and be able to support those organizations that are important to you. How about this? How about maybe you want to get into politics? Maybe you want to not only go for your city council, but maybe mayor, maybe even senator and work in our nation's capital. Whatever that is, these are big dreams and goals. So list those out. Next, I want you to write the word needs. Needs are completely different than dreams and goals. Needs, put the lid back on. Retirement is a big thing for most people today as they're thinking about getting to the point where they're looking to relax and enjoy their quality of life in their later years. Well, do you know that financial experts say that just to earn a passive $50,000 to $60,000 a year in income today, you need no less than $1 million in the bank, earning 4 to 5% interest. And that's not conservative anymore. 10 years from now, you'll need over $2 million. And 20 years from now, you probably need over $3 million with the way cost of living is going. So from a retirement standpoint, where are you financially? Statistically, to give you an idea about the $1 million earning a passive income of only $50,000 to $60,000 a year, do you know that only 4% of the U.S. population reaches retirement age with $1 million more in the bank? And over half of retirees have less than $20,000 in the bank. So where are you at from a retirement standpoint? Next is children. Children are not free, as we know. I've raised 2 children of my own, and we know the expense that it comes with having your kids go through sports and exercise and schooling. How about once they get to a point to where they get to drive a car? Whether they participate in that or not is up to you, but how much is that going to cost? And then one day, if they go to college, I know down the road here in Baylor University outside of Waco here, it's just over $50,000 a year for tuition, not counting room and board. So you have college education for your children. How about this? Our daughter, just over 5 years, we gave her away to her amazing husband, Sam, in the wedding. And it was our responsibility, we felt, to cover the wedding. Do you know that over 5 years ago, the average cost of weddings to give away your daughter was over $35,000? And we experienced that in a very real way. I can only imagine where it is today. So children is a big one. How about this one? If you're anything like me, and if you think about the statistics, only 4% of the U.S. population typically reach to retirement age to where they're financially independent, meaning they're not worried about government subsidy. 4%. Well, my father, who was a realtor for over 40 plus years, he earned anywhere from it was $150,000 to over $300,000 a year. And he did really well. He had a new Cadillac every other year, took a lot of trips. And when he was 74, when his health started to fail him, he ended up calling me and my wife and said, listen, we understand that you just built a new 5-bedroom home. Do you mind if I come live with you? And I said, Dad, what happened? I said, you did so well throughout your career. He goes, Pat, I ended up just short selling on my townhome. I have no money left, and all I have is Social Security. See, my dad made a lot of income throughout the years, but created very little to no wealth. Income and wealth creation are completely different. So if you're anything like me, where only 4% of the U.S. population reach financial independence by retirement age, you may have to participate in taking care of your parents. So we were honored to bring my dad down and spend the last 2 years of his life with us and take care of him. My mother, on the other hand, she takes home $1,100 a month from Social Security, and she turns 80 this month. You can't live anywhere, much less Waco, Texas, on $1,100 a month. So we're blessed to be able to, provide support for her in that. Next, I want you to list out the next word is quality of life or lifestyle, whatever that means to you. And when I talk about quality of life, I ask you to think about this. How much time do you work today? Do you want to spend more time with your family? Do you want to be able to travel more with your family? Do you want to be able to enjoy your quality of life and whatever that means, taking care of your health or your fitness? How about giving back socially? Because it's not all about taking. It's not about just earning money, and it's not building wealth, but it's also the opportunity to give back socially, because I believe that's a right for our, what we're responsible to do. I believe that's something that we should consider. And then after you list that out, what I want you to do is I want you to go to the next box, and I want you to write the words yes, and I want you to write the word no. All right, and I want you to ask yourself this question. If things continue over the next 3+ years, as they have over the last 3 years, without making any real significant changes, will you be on track to accomplishing your dreams and your goals, your needs, and your quality of life requirements? Yes or no? Because if the answer is yes, guess what? Just keep doing what you're doing. But if the answer is no, that means you have one of two choices. What are they? Think about that. What are they? Well, one is to give up on your dreams, goals, needs, and quality of life requirements. The other one is to go and do something about it. Let me ask you, what do you think most people do? I can tell you statistically what we just talked about. They give up. I want to ask you this. I'm going to challenge you on this. What would you do? What would you do? Because there's no reason to even stay up late looking for businesses or different opportunities or talking to people about what that looks like until you made this one single decision. Do I need to go out and do something different to accomplish my dreams and my goals, my needs and quality of life requirements? So if that answer for you, what's your gut right now? What's your gut? If the answer is no, guess what? And you want to go out there and do something about it. That's when we can talk about what kind of business do you need? What size of business do you need? And how does it need to be structured? So what kind of business? Is it a landscaping business? Is it a retail business? Do you have something special in mind that you want to go out and build, right? What kind of business that you're passionate about? Number two is what size of business? This is an important one because when you think about the size of a business, it needs to match your dreams and your goals and your needs and quality of life requirements. There's a lot of businesses out there that may not generate a lot of revenues. It might not generate as much profits to accomplish that. So maybe you need to pass on that. How does it need to be structured is another one. Is the business going to be built around you so that you're tied to the business all the time? Or is it going to be built around systems and processes and structure and organizational charts so you can build a business that provides you the quality of life you're looking for? So now after you list all that out, what kind of business, what size of business, and how does it need to be structured? I want to take you to the last box, which is something that is really important for my wife and I. And we write the words, the consequences and victims. And I want you to write that down, consequences and victims. This is where we really hold the mirror up to our face and we say, how important is this for us? Because Cindy and I ask ourselves this: if we never accomplished our dreams and our goals, our needs and our quality of life requirements, what would the consequences of that be? And who would be the victims of those consequences besides ourselves? Because remember, whether it's, your spouse, it could be your children, it could be your parents. Remember, who's that important in your life? It could be your church, it could be giving back to your community. The decisions we make don't just impact us. They impact so many other people around us. So as you look at this exercise and you take the time over the next few days, take the time to literally figure all of that out. When I said dreams and goals, take the lid off. When I said needs, be practical, put that lid back on, and then focus on what your quality of life requirements would be. And then be honest with yourself. Do I need to do something different? Because starting a new business is scary. I get it. I've done it 12 times. My wife and I have done it many, many times. But when you truly understand and it's revealed in front of you what's important for you and your family, then you know the decisions you need to make, and then you can focus your north arrow on where you need to go. Because knowing is power, right? Because you've heard the old adage, acronym, fear for fear, false evidence appearing real. This exercise provides the truth, the evidence of it, not false evidence, real evidence of where you are in your life and where you want to go. Thank you for having me today and being able to share this exercise. That's been important for me and my family over the years, as well as countless others.
Thank you, Pat. That was amazing. I've done this exercise and I always get some new insight or new answer to a question in my own mind about my own next steps. I was hoping maybe we could do a few questions that have come up in the chat.
Sure.
Great. So first question that came up was, this seems like a great exercise, especially for someone starting a new business. Mm-hmm. What are some other types of people that might benefit from this exercise?
Oh, actually, somebody that's already made the decision for business ownership was right for them before. And maybe if they reflect by going through this exercise where they're at in their business, is it where they thought it would be when they started their business, right? So it's really a good place for them to reevaluate, over the last 3 years. This is what my business has, been doing, and this is the path. Will that change without making any significant changes in my business? Do they need to go out and find maybe some more capabilities to help them in the business, right? Any other resources? Do they need to align or partner with somebody in that to help get that done? So this can really provide them good insight for that. In addition to that, I would think this is something, if we think about our youth, I wish I had this exercise when I was younger, truly. I taught this to my daughter and my son-in-law. I've shared this, my grandchildren are a little bit too young, but I will share this with my grandbabies from a standpoint of going about making decisions, because it's not like you need to always make a change, right, but having this as a tool, whether you're in business today or aspiring entrepreneur or a young person, it's a great exercise that they can always pull out to see how they're doing.
Wonderful. That's great. It's nice to see that there's other people that can do this as
Mm-hmm.
well. It's a benefit in multiple different ways.
Absolutely.
Right? So another question that came up is, what are some of the aha moments you've seen people have when they're going through this exercise?
Wow. One of the big aha moments that more common than not, of the ones would be when one spouse sees it differently than the other. One spouse might be a yes, and one spouse might be a no. So what this does is it really provides an open dialogue for them to communicate, because sometimes one of the spouses may not know where they are from a retirement standpoint. They're just trusting they're going to get there. And this exercise really opens up the communication to figure out, okay, where are we really? And they level set. And then, oh, by the way, now that we're level set, do we need to do something different? Another aha moment I would share with you would be somebody that maybe it's not a dream and goal or even a need. Maybe they're financially where they want to be. But from a quality of life standpoint, they realize I need to do something different. I just shared with you earlier, the young man and his wife, that he had been traveling 6 months and he's had only been home for 19 days. did really well financially, and everything's taken care of at the homestead. They're kind of working through their retirement and everything well. But it was the quality of life. They've got young kids. He's not seen them. He's not seen them raised, and that's time that he'll never get back, he said. So those are the things. It doesn't always have to be financial. It's the quality of life is a big one.
That's a great point. Very great point. So one last question, if you could for it. Is this a one and done exercise?
It would be nice, but the reality of life happens. Things happen that are unexpected. So I would recommend every 2 to 3 years, every 3 years, my wife and I literally take some focused time to step away and reevaluate where we are in our dreams, goals, needs, and quality of life requirements. The great part is you get to see the progress over the years as you continue to add to those. But I'll share with you, it's something we need to reevaluate all the time. Somebody may have something happen in their family that provides more strain on them or responsibility for them financially. It may be to where, somebody has different challenges with their parents like us. It put more responsibility on us to do that. So I would say every few years, I would reevaluate where we're at.
Wonderful. Well, Pat, thank you so much for all of this. We really appreciate it. Business ownership is a powerful way to achieve financial independence for many that go down that path. Neighborly is the world's largest home services company with over 30 brands and 5,000 franchises, collectively serving over 12 million customers in 6 countries, all focused on repairing, maintaining, and enhancing homes and businesses through a single, trusted, far-reaching source to meet any service needs inside or outside their home or business. We franchise our brands to those looking to go into business for themselves, but not by themselves. We want to work with good people, and we have a system for getting prospective owners off on the right foot. And we care about their success. Believe it or not, we typically have more time and money invested in the first 4 years with our franchisees than they will. So we like to make sure there's a good fit for everyone involved. If you want to learn more about neighborly franchising opportunities, be sure to explore our franchising site that you're on as we speak. Here you'll find information about all of our home services brands. You can search for locations that are available in your area with our territory finder, or you can contact us directly via chat, phone, or submit your information and schedule an exploratory call with one of our world-class franchise developers who are more than happy to help you find an opportunity right for you. A few last things before we go. I want to let you know, replay will be available on our website. Revisit as often as you need to. This is a tool for you. We'll also provide the replay link via email for you to review or share with someone else. We also have something really special for you. As an attendee of this webinar, we're going to give you all a copy of Pat's new book titled Stop Chasing Two Rabbits, Is Business Ownership Right for You? This book is amazing and will be a great reminder of this exercise today, or will give you something to share with a loved one. Be sure to check out franchise opportunities here on this website if franchising is something you're interested in. Also, be sure to sign up for our next webinar, scheduled for December, titled How Franchising Can Bridge the Gap Between Business Ownership and Success, with special guest and franchising expert, Brian Woods. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you at the December webinar. Be sure to register right after this.